Hey, one of the great things about having yoga tools up your sleeve is that if you're looking for body strengthening, you can amp up lots of different yoga tools, and you can be strengthening your muscles and your bones with yoga shapes and adding in little bits of HIIT and then going into yoga stretching. I've actually just added some little weights to my ankles to help strengthen the legs a little bit more. So I'm going to just go through some yoga shapes. Come and join me if you fancy. Do make sure though, if you're doing something like this, you have good pelvic floor activation, because we want to make sure that we are not putting undue intra-abdominal pressure down on the pelvic floor if we don't also have a good ability to connect with our pelvic floor muscles with our breath. So I'm just going to start with a sun salutation, opening up the hamstrings, opening up the back line of the body. So deeply breathing in and out, coming into some tabletop positions here, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling down, inhaling, base of the rib cage in, shoulders back, little circles backwards with my hands, working into the upper back muscles, chin is tucking in, little circles here, all the way down, and then hands up towards the ceiling to release the shoulders, release the upper back, give the head a shake. Hands above the knees again, inhaling one more time, switching on core, exhaling down, stepping back into downward facing dog to open up the hamstrings and the calf muscles. So just kind of walking with the heels dropping down one at a time, dropping in the knee, cross the midline of the body, get into the hips. Opening up underneath the armpits, rolling those shoulders away from the ears, stepping one foot forward, so coming into a high lunge here, and then again hands out in front into the sides to get into the upper back muscles. Really good strong work through the thigh, and then up into a high lunge, shoulders dropping right down away from ears, pressing back through the back heel, rib cage up away from pelvis. And then I'm going to hook into a twist here. So pressing elbow into knee and knee into elbow. So getting into this outer thigh area, the abductors, breathing smoothly. Good, and then turn that into an open twist. So other hand on the mat, opening up, squeezing right through the mid-back, pressing down through the little toe edge, and mobilizing the shoulder joint as well. Oh, that feels good. And then I'm just going to open up into that front leg, so getting a little bit of a stretch into that front calf, front hamstring, and coming into a tripod, dropping the head. Scissor stretch. Good, and then hands stepping back, dropping the knees, bottom back towards heels, exhaling forward, switching on core muscles, and again exhaling forward, shoulders just stopping above the fingers, giving the wrists a little bit of weight, and then just dropping down for some tricep dips. Always exhaling as you come up. If you're going to be doing these, exhaling as you come up, exhaling as you come up, pelvic floor, deep core, switching on. Stretching out underneath the armpits again, shoulders rolling away from ears, toes tucked under to stretch the back of the feet. Inhaling here, exhaling forward, inhaling, exhaling forward, inhaling to drop, exhaling up, inhaling back, exhaling forward, dropping, exhaling up. And pause. This time wrists off the mat to stretch. I'm going to walk my hands one side and then the other, just to open up into the side waist here. Breathing right down to the bottom of my lungs. And then coming up onto cat, cow, rounding the spine, cat and cow. Mobilizing the spine, mobilizing the pelvis, circling the hips. One direction. And then the other, back into downward facing dog. forward, coming into a lunge on this side. So weight right over that front leg. So working on the extensor muscles of the back, but also really strengthening into the glutes and to the hamstrings here. And then I'll come into a balance high lunge, opening up the psoas area, the hip flexors and the quads. And then hooking into that runner's lunge with a twist, pressing elbow into knee, and then opening up, side twist, opening up into this lovely chest opening, squeezing the upper back, might even come into side angle. And remembering what I did, so there was scissors next, wasn't it? So scissoring here, opening up into the back of that front leg, into the calf muscles, and then, I'm a lot tighter on this side. Interesting. Using the weight of my head to drop me down, but always making sure that you're not over extending through the lower back area. Bend into the front knee wherever you need to. I'm going to just come down and open up into these inner thighs a bit more, like so, walking from one side to the other with the mat. One side and then the other, and then coming back into the center, toes slightly in, heels out. Weights really help to just drop down through the feet. I'm going to go into a full tripod here, stretching right up, lovely for the spine, pressing down and out through the little toe edge of the feet, and then coming into a twist. So hands under chest, and then one hand up towards the ceiling, shoulder away from the ear, deep breath in, and then out again. And the other side, deep breath in, and then out, heel toe into Malasana. So a squat, pressing elbows into knees, so lengthening into the inner thighs, the adductors, here pelvic floor, lifting, releasing, squeezing knees into elbows and out, a little bit of a pulse and then up. So pressing the floor away with heels, exhaling up, down, exhaling up, really pressing the floor away with those heels. Get into the glutes, get into those thigh muscles. Great for strengthening the bones. Good. And then coming into some traditional squats. I'll do these on the side. Behind wrist stays, behind knee stays, on top of ankles. Shoulders right back, dropping down. Arms counterbalancing, exhaling, up, exhaling. Push the floor away with those heels. Pause in Utkatasana and bring my feet a little bit closer together. And then even come into Garudasana. So eagle pose here. And then flying eagle, foot out, crown lifted, leg, working these quads, core, and then drifting into warrior three, balance, working on those back muscles. And the balance, drop the back foot. High lunge. That feels nice. And then slowly slide back. Do that on the other side. So do some more squats first. And then Garudasana, eagle pose, other side. These weights make it a bit harder. And then flying eagle. Lost my balance. So weights are making that thigh need to work a bit harder. And then into my warrior three balance. Balance is gone today. Good. And high lunge. That's it. And then slowly come back. I'm going to just do some core switching on, so opening the front line of the body. Foot behind, pressing down. Again, ankle weights just help to stabilize, but obviously make everything work harder. Arms up. So if you had wrist weights as well, you could use those. Exhaling up, inhaling open, exhaling up, inhaling open. So as I exhale, pelvic floor, deep core muscles lifting, activating, and opening, and opening. Good. And then I'm going to just take that foot off the ground. A little bit of activation through the glutes as well. Crown of the head still lifting up, keeping me nice and stable, so don't lean forward. Standing leg, really having to work quite hard to stabilize. Good, do that on the other side. Whoa, where's my balance gone? I'm looking at the camera so I can see myself moving. So try to look at something that's not moving. Your dristi, your eye gaze, if it's looking at something that's not moving and you soften the little muscles around the eyes, it's easier. Good, and then just stretching out in triangle pose. So hip goes back, back hip rolls forward. Drop the front hand wherever it lands on your leg. Stack the top shoulder on top of the bottom shoulder. Arm up towards the ceiling, or hand on hip if there's any shoulder issues here. I like to just add in a whole side body stretch. And then down, lengthen into the neck here. Beautiful. Bending into that front knee. Just going to slide into warrior two. So we want to press down through that front heel and then palm up, archer pose, stretch the front line of the body, forearm on thigh, back arm up and over, maybe dropping down into a deeper side angle, maybe even taking your hands underneath. Just if you're doing this version, make sure you don't keep collapsing down. Keep a bit of integrity by pulling your front femur back into the pelvis. Good, and just pressing the heel away, coming up, and then swapping to the other side. Feet a little bit closer for triangle. Turning the palm here so I get a bit more of a twist through the upper back. Shoulder drops back a bit more, bottom shoulder slightly forward. And then arm up and overhead, whole side body stretch. I always like to do a little swirl with my arm here as well. And then let the neck go. Looking down. I feel like doing a balance here, but I'll come first of all into that warrior two to keep it even. Stretching into the inner thigh, little toe is really pressing down. And then turn the palm of the front hand. Archer, opening the front line. That feels good. And then forearm on thigh, other arm up and over. Maybe coming into a deeper version of this, if that suits your body today. Good. I'm going to come into a side plank. So dropping down first of all onto knees. Inhaling here. Exhaling forward to set pelvic floor and core. One hand into the center. So dropping right down, shoulder on top of wrist, so that I've got a really good strong arm here. And I'm going to just try doing a little bit of extra strengthening with that leg with a weight on it. So exhaling, exhaling, working right into these obliques here. And then I'm going to try doing a bit of this, knee and elbow together. Good. So all of these yoga things you can add to them to do a little bit more weight bearing. Important in the peri to postmenopausal years that we keep our bones and our muscles strong, but also really important that we are mindful of pelvic floor health. That's why I always come into planks from here, exhaling forward. I don't just come launching straight on, putting intra-abdominal pressure through the center line. So let's do that on the other side. Exhaling forward, plank, one hand into the center, rolling over to the side. You can do this on your forearms if on your wrist is not good for you. And then I'm going to, what I do that one, that's right. Here. And then a little bit of this to get the balance going. Good, and oh, I'm going over the body here. And then back down again. Okay, work on the back a bit more now. So elbows in, just resting here for a moment. I'm going to come into Sphinx to get my breath, open up the spine, shoulders away from ears, tops of the feet onto the ground. And it doesn't matter if you're further down, we just want to get a nice gentle curve through the back here. Coming down, good, shin tucking in, roll the shoulders back. I'm going to start off inhaling, bring my chest up, exhaling down, inhaling, filling the lungs, chest up, feet still on the ground, inhaling, and again, inhaling, good. See how that goes with my feet. One to start off with, then the other, squeezing glutes and hamstrings, and then tummy button off the ground, try both, exhaling, so harder with weights around your ankles, exhaling, exhaling, good. I'm going to go for both, inhaling, inhaling up, inhaling here, inhaling, if that feels okay, maybe taking the arms out to the sides or even forward, mindful of your back, tummy button to spine, good, just coming back up again, and then toes in, heels out, rocking the hips from side to side, hands under the forehead, massaging into the lower back, and I'm just going to draw up through the pelvic floor. So while in crocodile pose, pelvic floor activation, when you're in this position, the bum doesn't sort of start to squeeze quite often when we try to focus on pelvic floor. The bum muscles activate. So just working around the front of the pelvic floor here. Exhaling to lift, inhaling to relax. Good. And one more. That's the way. Okay, so I'm going to roll onto my back. A bit more glute work and core work. So starting off with feet directly underneath the knees, and then pushing the heels into the ground, peeling bum off, and then releasing back down onto the ground. So slowly coming up and coming down. Just get that spine nice and open. Taking one vertebra away from the next, coming up, coming down. Now I'm going to stay up the next time. So coming up on a diagonal, drawing the shoulders slightly closer together, hands pressing down into the ground. Push the heels into the ground so these glutes really activate. You can feel them switching on. Okay, so I'm going to heel toe my feet closer together, staying with the pelvis up, pushing all the weight down through my left foot, sticking my right foot up. So now this is really working here, and then leg up and down to the ground. Exhaling up, down to the ground. Exhaling up, down to the ground. This hamstring's tight on this side. I've done some walking without stretching out. And then I'm just going to keep it there for a moment, roll the ankle around, and then take that one down. Other side, pressing down through that right heel, and then up and down. So I'm exhaling to lift. And as you come down, do it with control. Try to keep the pelvis high, obviously a bit harder with weights. And keeping it high, massage that ankle, and then back together. Feel feet wide again, slowly peeling the back down again onto the ground. And resting here. I'm going to take the feet a little bit wider, knees in, taking a few full breaths. Pelvic floor relaxed, belly relaxed, bum relaxed. Good, and keeping the feet wide, knees apart again. This time pushing through the heels, lifting up, bottom off the ground, and then squeezing the knees and the thighs together. Releasing them, roll back down again. So exhaling up, squeeze the knees and the thighs, release them, roll back down. Coming up, squeeze the knees, release the knees, roll back down. Up and squeeze, release and down. Up and squeeze and release and down. So you can do a couple of pulses. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the knees, release the knees, come back down. Up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the knees, release the knees, come back down. Up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the knees, release the knees, come back down. One more time. Up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the knees, release, come back down. Knees into chest, circling. So we just lubricate the hip joints here, taking those knees one direction and then the other. And then feet up towards the ceiling. Again, with ankle weights, it just makes your legs press back down into the ground a bit more. So rub the back of the legs and then toes out, heels together. Rub the back of the legs. Lovely. And then nice wide legs here, stretching the inner thighs. So I'm grabbing hold of toes, but you might grab hold of your knees or your shins or your ankles, and just want to open up the legs as wide as they comfortably go, stretching those inner thigh muscles. Now see if you can be nice and relaxed through the pelvic floor here. Really nice and relaxed. Full deep breathing. I like to kind of rock from side to side a little bit. So if this is a bit much, then come into baby pose, which is knees bent, feet up towards the ceiling, this version here. So working with what is good with your legs today. Now I'm going to take my feet together this time and just then holding on to the inside, holding on to my shins and forearms pressing the inside of my knees down. So opening those thighs. Again, pelvic floor relaxed, lower belly relaxed. Stretching a bit more right into the groin here, into the adductor muscles. So no rush with these. You can pause and take as much time as you like. I'm just going to put one ankle on top of the other knee. Draw the knee in, so I'm getting a good stretch on my right hip here, right glute. And then threading the hands around to grasp the shin, drawing that shin in. That just deepens the stretch. Breathing in, sighing out. Good. I'm just going to open up the body, so knee right in towards the chest, stretching knees and stretching feet and hands away from each other. And then the other side. So I've got a skylight above me. I'm just looking up at the tree above me. It's very beautiful. Rustling in the wind. Good, and then doing the same figure of four stretch on this side. So this time I'm getting my left glute and right into the hip. Deep stretch. And if you can, just grabbing hold of your shin or the back of the leg and deepening into the stretch. And make sure that your jaw is really soft, your shoulders are dropping right away from your ears and into the ground. See if you can relax into that deep stretch into the glutes. And then knees right into chest, arms out, dropping the knees to one side. So you can extend the top leg. That gives you a stretch, and a sort of sciatic nervy stretch right up into that IT band. Otherwise, enjoy just a regular twist and deeply breathing in. Hold the top of the breath and then sigh the breath out. And as you sigh the breath out, see if you can melt into the twist a bit more. Good, and then the other way. So lovely twist, maybe taking the foot out, if that's good. Wonderful. I'm going to take my feet together and my knees out. Supta Baddha Konasana. So if you're a bit tight on hip flexors, great idea to put pillows underneath your knees, or even a bolster underneath your knees, so you can just kind of flop your legs over a bolster. And having a pillow or a bolster underneath your spine is also really nice. So this is a lovely way just to spend a few minutes softening the whole body, making sure that all the little muscles in your forehead and around your eyes are relaxed, feeling the weight of your head into the ground, relaxing the jaw, feeling your neck softening, your shoulders softening, feeling the upper back melting into the ground, feeling a softness flowing down through your belly and through your lower back and into your pelvis. And taking your mind's eye and just swirling your mind's eye like liquid around your hip joints, into the hip flexors, and then down the legs, around the knees, down the shins and around the ankles and into the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet, and into the toes, around the toes. And letting your mind go into your toes and your fingers. And just feeling the pulse there, the little gentle buzzy feeling of the prana, the life force. And then expand your awareness so you take your mind underneath the skin surface of the whole of your body. The whole body. Just feeling the whole of your body in space at this moment in time. A gentle buzz of the prana, the life force. See if you can tune into that and feel the rise and fall of your belly with your breath. The very subtle ripple effect of each breath through that pulse of energy through your body. And just thinking into how extraordinary it is to have these trillions and trillions of cells all squished together to create this physical form, this body. And when you're ready, just slowly wriggling to fingers and toes, bending the knees, rolling over to one side, and pressing yourself up, and coming to finish the practice. Taking a deep breath in, hold the top of the breath and let it go. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.